Hey guys, it's Sinem and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today, it's an exciting video. I'm going to be testing out the brand new MAC Studio Fix powders. I have two shades here because I couldn't decide. The shade range has changed. I picked up NC15 and NC12, which you guys will see. I'm going to be doing a full video review, first impression, demo, swatches, everything close up of everything, the texture, the finish, the formula, the shades, and I also have the old Studio Fix powder to compare to. This is the new one and this is the old one, so I'm going to show you guys as well. Packaging has also changed, which we're going to talk about that as well. So on one side of my face I have the old powder and on the other side I have the new powder. Can you guys tell? Without rambling too much, I do want to let you guys know, if you are new here, I film MAC content all the time. You can check out my MAC Cosmetics playlist down below. I will also have this product listed down below as well for you guys to check out. So I'll leave the link down below for both UK and US viewers. But I think that is it from me. So if you guys want to see the brand new MAC Studio Fix powder, reformulated, repackaged, then definitely grab a snack, grab a drink. And without further ado, let's just jump straight into it. I do have a huge MAC haul coming as well. So definitely stay tuned for that. But we're gonna dive into the powder, the new powder. So the only thing I'm wearing on my face right now is foundation. I will do a zoom in and everything for you guys, but I'm gonna show you guys the new powder, and also I have the old one to compare to. I actually picked up two of the new powders. I couldn't decide a shade because the shades have changed, which we will get into. So I actually picked up two because I couldn't decide. I picked up NC15 and NC12, which is quite equivalent to the NC20 powder that I used to be, of course, in the old one, because my old one was NC20. These powders are also now refillable, so you can see on the back it's showing you that they are refillable. You can take them out and then just buy the refills, which I really do like that, to be honest. It just, you know, doesn't waste a lot of packaging. Let's go ahead and open up what the new packaging looks like and look at it up close, and also sound off and comment down below what you guys think of the new packaging. So this is it right here. It just has the MAC logo. Absolutely simple packaging, but it still has a little bit of a dome shape to the bottom. That is that on the back, but again, this is what the new one looks like. I'm gonna open up the old packaging and show you guys in case you haven't seen it. This is the old packaging, so I will do a side by side, also dome packaging, and that on the back. New packaging and old packaging. What do you guys think? I mean, they're very different, I'll be honest. So again, new and old. In my opinion, I do kind of like the new packaging. I love that it's still domed. I like the simple MAC logo, but this to me will just always be iconic. This to me is just always classic MAC packaging. So I'm scared that they're gonna start going towards this kind of like minimalist, like just simple plain packaging, which I don't know. This to me is just so iconic. I just love the MAC logo here. This is still the same MAC logo, which I hope they never change. But yeah, if you're a bit weird like me with packaging, I don't know, I kind of like it, and at the same time I'm like, no, I still like the old iconic one. Now let's get into the colors. I'm going to throw up on the screen for you guys the shade range, just to discuss the shades, because this is a very important part of the video before we get into actually trying it. I don't know how I feel about the shades. So a lot of people have been complaining, and I also agree, that these shades are very orange or very yellow. There's a lot of shades that they have now discontinued. And also what's weird is, if you were once an NW58, you are now an NC60. So not only does the shades change, but also the undertone, which to me is just very confusing. And like, again, for example, NW50, you can see here on the screen, you are now an NC60 or NC58. It's just very confusing. So I don't like that the shades have completely changed. You have to definitely go into store and get a recolor match. I used to be an NC20 in the old Studio Fix powder, and as you can see now, they are saying that I am an NC15. However, NC15, I will show you guys, is a little bit more orange or pink. So I opted for NC12, which is more yellow, which is what I like, but then it's too light. It's just too light. So I don't really have a color that's exactly like NC20 anymore. Some shades have still stayed the same, like if you were an NC10 before, you're still an NC10 now. But they have discontinued, unfortunately, some of the shades, such as C6 has been discontinued. I believe C35 has been discontinued, C30. It's just a very confusing shade range to me. But they do have new shades, which is exciting. So they have shades like NC13, NC12, NC17. I do have the old Studio Fix powder. This one is brand new. It's in NC20. And I now have two of the new ones. So this is NC12. NC12 looks like that. It does come with a film as well, and NC15 looks like that. So that's NC15, that's NC12. NC15 looks a little bit more pink, and NC12 I think looks too light now. Just to compare NC15, you can see how pink that looks, to NC20. So they're saying that if you used to be NC20, that you are now NC15, but that is not NC20. Do you see what I mean? Like, it's still not right. It's just still not correct. So for reference, NC12, NC15 in the middle, and the old NC20 powder right here. With the new packaging, it does come with a sponge, and the sponge is kind of unique. It doesn't have the perfect edge, which is what they're going for. So it just looks like that. It's just a latex sponge. However, the new packaging now, you can actually remove this and refill it. So you can remove this right here and then put it back in. So all you need to do is just buy the refill. I do really like that concept, to be honest. I think it is a great idea. The only bad thing about it, because I have seen in store, is when you try to pull it out, you have to be careful because you might actually end up cutting the powder if you don't pull it out perfectly. Now I'm going to zoom you guys in and we're going to do a close-up of the powders. I hope it's zoomed in enough. So first we're going to swatch NC15. I'm just going to swatch it on the hand. Again, this is what NC15 looks like. And just the feel of it and the formula, very smooth and creamy from what it feels like. That is NC15. Exactly how you see it on camera. Next, let's go into NC12, which is a lot more yellow. Again, it does feel very like smooth. That's NC12. So you can see a little bit more pink, a little bit more yellow. My NC20, this is the old powder, is a lot more full coverage, is also very creamy. Like formula-wise, when you feel it, it feels the same. But my NC20 was a lot more full coverage. This powder is not full coverage, for sure. It's not full coverage. It's very like just a setting powder. I'm going to apply the old powder on one side of my face and then the new powder on the other side of my face. I'm going to do NC20 on one side, NC15 on the other side, and then NC12 just to brighten. Let's see what NC15 looks like, even though it looks a little bit still dark. There's a lot of fallout. So I'm going to apply NC15 right here, the new powder. I only have foundation on my face. I'm using the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. There is so much fallout. I've also put the brightness down. I have a little blemish here. Let's see if it can cover. It looks smooth. It looks smooth, but I think the color is just ever so slightly a little bit dark, as you can see. But it's not bad. I actually thought it was going to be darker. It actually looks good. It feels very soft on the skin. However, it didn't really give me much coverage. And that's one thing that I've always loved about Studio Fix powder, is that it's a powder foundation. This to me just feels like a very smooth setting powder, face powder. I don't find that it gives a lot of coverage, or it's like a buildable coverage, but then you have to put on too much powder. So I'm actually going to go in now with my Studio Fix powder, the old one in NC20 on this side, and then we can see color difference and then also coverage. I'm going to use a different brush. I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but I just love the finish of the old one. It's just so much more smoother. It looks almost like filtered. This is not a video to like complain about the new powder, but it's just an honest review. I just think this side, you can still see like my pigmentation, like a little bit of like marks, but in person it just looks so much more smoother and full, whereas this side I feel like isn't as full coverage. But to be fair, the color isn't that bad. Isn't that bad at all. What do you guys think? This is NC15, slightly darker, and this is NC20, which was like my perfect shade. But NC15 is definitely a little bit darker. I feel like the NC20 side just looks smoother. Like the old side just looks a lot smoother and more full coverage. And I just like how it makes, like, sits on top of my foundation. Whereas this side, I just feel like it's a little bit less coverage. I'm gonna do a close-up for you guys as well. It's not as drying as I thought it would be. On the hand, it looks very dry, but on the skin, it actually looks very, like, smooth. I'm gonna do the NC12 powder underneath my eyes, and I'm gonna try it with the sponge, and then we'll do a close-up, a super close-up, to see the texture. This is NC12. Let's go ahead and try with the sponge. I'm actually going to pinch it. Looks quite full coverage on the sponge. It looks a little bit yellow. I know it was going to be yellow, but it seems a little bit too yellow, don't you think? Can you see? Like it's quite yellow, but it's quite brightening and quite full with the sponge. So maybe if you use a sponge, you can get a little bit more full coverage out of this powder. What do you guys think? I don't know if I love that shade. It looks a little bit weird. I'm also going to apply this just a little bit there. I'm going to do a close-up in a second, but it definitely looks a little bit too yellow as I'm blending it out with the sponge, but I do like the coverage that it gives with a sponge. This is a super close-up. So as you can see it's very yellow underneath my eyes. This is the new powder with NC15 and NC12. I'm not sure if I'm loving the colors. This just looks very yellow. Not only is it the color, but again, I mean, it still looks smooth, but it doesn't look as full. This is the NC20 side. Still quite yellow up here. Old powder with NC12, and then the new powder NC15 and NC12. So what do you guys think? Can you see a difference? And if you're thinking I've picked the wrong shades, I haven't picked the wrong shades. MAC have changed the shades. So I'm telling you, literally no one can find their perfect shade anymore. Like I said, it's very like either too yellow or too pink, and it's just not the same anymore. But to be honest, I'm not mad at the formula. I actually think it's very smooth and silky. It still sets the makeup. It still looks really nice. I'm just not sure about the colors and also about the coverage. Finish wise, it's almost identical. Very smooth, very silky. It's just really, like I keep saying, the coverage and the color. It is also talc free, which is why they decided to change the formula and the Studio Fix powder, because talc is actually bad for the skin. So they've done it without talc, which is maybe why it isn't as full coverage. I'm not sure how it's changed. I'm assuming it being talc free has affected, you know, like the color and the coverage. I'm going to finish up doing bronzer and blush, and I will be right back to give you guys my final thoughts and talk a little bit more about the powders. So should you buy it? I think if you can find your shade just from the chart that I showed earlier in the video, or if you go into store and you can find your shade, then definitely test it out in store. And yeah, maybe buy it, try it out at home if you don't mind spending money on it and trying a new powder if you're looking for a new powder. However, if you are a lover to the OG Studio Fix powder, then I do have some words. I don't think it's the same powder. It's definitely different. The formula is a little bit different. It still feels very creamy, very smooth, very silky. It sits very nicely on the skin. Again, this is the NC15 side, the new side, but it isn't as full coverage. So if you're looking for like a full coverage powder foundation, this isn't going to be it, because you will have to build it quite a bit. You can use it with the sponge, but then I just feel like that would take forever. I also do find that the colors are a little bit too yellow or a little bit too pink. It's not that kind of like less yellow or more neutral like the old powder was. You know, I do actually like the new packaging. I'm not mad about it. Again, this will always be iconic to me as a MAC lover and the MAC queen. This is just iconic to me and will forever be iconic. So this I just can't see as iconic. And I do actually like the refill side of it, that you can actually refill it. You just have to be very careful when pulling it out, because I have seen in store that when you pull it out, it does actually sometimes crack the powder if you don't pull it out correctly or put it back in correctly. So you have to be so gentle with it, which is like, again, see, I can't really put it in. I'm like struggling and I don't want to cut the powder. Okay, I'm actually struggling. I'm actually struggling, okay. So yeah, it takes a while to like, it's very fiddly to put back in. And you have to be very careful. I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below. Definitely comment, let me know what you guys think, if you're going to be picking it up or not. And just, yeah, all of your thoughts, leave it down below. Give this video a thumbs up. And let me know what you want to see next from me. Definitely stay tuned for the MAC haul. I have that coming soon. And until next time, I'll speak to you guys all in my next video.